To health matters now. Cerebral palsy is a condition that affects muscle control and movement. It is usually caused by an injury to the brain before, during, or after birth. Caring for a child with cerebral palsy is not easy, especially if you have no income. I met Ruth Mwenja, a courageous mother whose unconditional love for her son gives her the strength to take each day as it comes. Here's her story.
Denial at first, because I was like, no, it cannot be my baby, and probably not me.
Every pregnant woman's dream is to give birth to a healthy baby, one with no complications whatsoever. Especially if you're a first-time mother, you will be anxious to attend your antenatal clinics just to make sure that everything is okay. 27-year-old Ruth Mwenja was overjoyed when she found out she was pregnant back in 2010. And like most mothers, she was looking forward to a healthy baby. But fate had something else in store for her.
No, there was no signs. And every time I visited a clinic, for my antenatal clinic, everything was fine. The pregnancy was smooth throughout.
After seeing her story on social media, I decided to pay Ruth Mwenja a visit to witness firsthand her struggles of raising baby Nevi. Meet Neville Ndungu, an innocent 3-year-old boy who cannot comprehend what is happening in his surroundings because he has one of the most severe cases of cerebral palsy. Baby Nevi cannot even respond to his mother's loving touch. The only time he makes any movement is when he's uncomfortable, in pain, or having convulsions. During our interview, baby Nevi suffered quite a few convulsions, and on several occasions we had to stop the interview and let him get better. It's lunchtime at Ruth Mwenja's single-room house. She's getting ready to feed Nevi. His feeding utensils must be handled with utmost hygiene. Nevi's food consists of arrowroots, chicken, rice and carrots, which have to be mashed, sieved and then diluted to become liquid in order to go through the tube. Nevi is unable to feed through the mouth. However, the little boy never goes hungry and is never late for his meals. His mother Ruth has mastered the art of caring for him. She carefully sets everything in place.
It's an open wound, that's why we have put a bandage there.
This tube, known as the gastronomy tube, is very expensive, costing 40,000 shillings. It has to be changed every month, and at the moment, Ruth only has one. The opening on baby Nevi's stomach where the tube is connected has to be cleaned and dressed twice a day. Otherwise, it can become septic. Baby Nevi is supposed to have physiotherapy every day, which costs 1,000 shillings a session. But his mother, who lost her job due to constant absenteeism, cannot afford it. The lack of therapy has made Nevi's limbs extremely stiff. No insurance company wants to cover brain damage and cater for anticonvulsant drugs.
Yes, I lost my job last February because taking Nevi to hospital is like an everyday job.
Even though Ruth is no longer in denial and has accepted that her baby will never be like other babies, she attributes Nevi's condition to medical negligence.
During the review, the doctor told me that I had already dilated and I should have my baby that day. But I was surprised because I was not in any labor pain.
Ruth was induced, and that is when her nightmare began.
So they induced the labor, and after a few hours after inducement, my labor began. I labored. It was my first time, so I kept pressing the bell. At a point when the nurses were so mad because I kept pressing the bell, and they told me you should not ring the bell again until you see water or blood.
Ruth did not see any water or blood, and so she labored until the following morning.
The same doctor came for checkup. He broke the water. Then he ordered that I should be put on drip. So the second day I was put on drip.
At 5 o'clock, Ruth was taken to the delivery room, and once again she was told to push, but nothing was coming out.
Then at around 6 p.m., the same doctor came back. And when he came back, he said, when unasumbua watu hapa, you're going to push that baby with whether you are in labor or not. He told one of the male nurse there to put his elbow on my belly, so they will push. So the nurse will push my belly with his elbow, and that's how Nevi was born. I was so happy, but then he said, have you seen what you have done to the baby?
According to Dr. Sami Chalo, a gynecologist, all hope is not lost for patients with cerebral palsy.
With the coming up of the stem cell therapy, I think we may get some sort of treatment with the advent of the stem cell therapy.
Ruth continues to bravely share her story with no fear of stigma on all social media platforms to create awareness and for emotional and financial support. She hopes that her story will change society's mindset about cerebral palsy.